Hello and welcome to Jazz 101 Part 1. Just like before, we're going to go over some stuff we should know before we start dancing. So, like in ballet, I'm going to reiterate the fact that we really need to be careful about what we're wearing for shoes for this part. If you don't have ballet shoes or jazz shoes or some form of slippers that can function the same way that jazz or ballet shoes do, the best thing really to do, again, is being barefoot until we get to turns. Because using things like loose slippers or socks is really not safe. Again, really slippery. They can fall off your feet if they're slippers. Just be very careful about what you choose to wear on your feet during this part. And again, like last time, once we do get to the turns, which I will be putting at the very end for the sake of safety, be very careful with what you wear. If it's socks, if it's tights, if it's something else, you still got to be really careful because it's easy to slip and it's easy to fall and hurt yourself. There's not actually a whole lot that I need to teach you for jazz that I didn't teach you for ballet beforehand, but there is one thing that I probably should have put in the ballet one, but because I learned it in a jazz class, it didn't occur to me to teach you until now. So if you decide to go back and do more for the other ones any other time, this is something you can use in all of them. So what we're going to learn is the triangle of balance. One of the things that makes it a lot easier to keep your balance, whether it's for jazz or ballet or anything else you're doing, is your center of gravity, which was taught to me with a triangle. So there's a triangle shape between your two hip bones and your pelvic bone. A good way of keeping track of the middle of where that is by placing your hands like this in an upside down triangle. As you can probably tell, your center of balance is in the center of the triangle, or where your pelvic bone is. So if you're trying to shift from standing on 2 feet to 1 foot, and you don't move where your center of balance is, it becomes a lot harder to balance. But if you take the time to shift that balance, and then pick 1 foot up, as you can see, it's a lot easier to maintain where you're standing. So whether it's changing from 1 foot to the other or from both feet to 1 foot, this is a really useful thing to know when it comes to balancing. So that covers just about everything we need to know before we get started, so let's head on to part 2.